Brutus the crocodile has competition from killer great white sharks. Suffice to say, mess with either giant saltwater crocs or great white sharks, one of them will get you eventually. G'day viewers, the end of another week brings us once more to Totally Fucked Up Friday. And I am starting this week with a quick revisit to last week. Brutus the crocodile. Some commenters took exception to me suggesting that eventually one of these jumping crocs in the Northern Territory was going to land on a boat full of tourists and wreak havoc. Not going to happen, they said. Oh really? Well, I point you for evidence to the contrary to South Africa. Now, if you didn't know, some people have taken adventure boat tours out there and they've pretty much encouraged great white sharks to do a very similar thing. Leap bodily out of the water after the chum and the meat that they put out for the sharks. It's a little bit freaky considering they do these offshore at very popular beaches. But anyway, just this last week, a group of marine biologists who weren't doing the showy make sharks jump thing were just doing some research in South African waters, and one guy's busy chumming the water, and a shark, about a 3-metre long shark, leapt out of the water over his head and landed on the deck of the boat. Now, a shark out of water is nowhere near as dangerous as a croc out of water. And these are all professional marine biologists, and they're actually concerned for the shark. And they did. They saved it. It didn't bite anyone. They saved it, and they got it back into the water eventually. All happy. All I'm saying is if there's an incident where an animal that doesn't go on land, a shark, that isn't being tempted to jump, does jump up onto a boat. If that does happen, and you have another scenario where animals that do live on land, as well as water, crocs, are actively being tempted to jump right up near boats, you're going to tell me that one of them's never going to land on a boat? I don't think so. And if that doesn't convince you, what part of I'm making jokes don't you fucking get? Seriously, how much do I have to exaggerate things and my reaction until people lighten the fuck up? I'm not being subtle here. Trying to launch serious arguments against me saying outrageous things. No, I don't think the scientists are breeding killer bees. I think you'll find you're mistaken there. That's totally fucked up. Next topic, no jokes, just totally fucked up. In Ghana this week, authorities ordered the arrest of all homosexuals in the country. I don't know if this is like, you know, pink triangle thing, if homosexuals are forced to carry homosexual licenses. I'm not sure exactly how you enforce something like this, but the concept that someone would even try is beyond disgusting. Quick tip, guys, the sickness is not homosexuality. The sickness is feeling like you can inflict this sort of punishment on people for who they are. I mean, seriously, explain to me how criminalising homosexuality is different from criminalising being black. It's just insane, and it's sick, and it's wrong, and there are about 1 million higher priorities in all African countries, not just Ghana. I mean, their neighbours to the east are being plunged into famine again, the worst since the 80s. Ghana itself, and all of that, there were problems with corruption, violence, just appalling societal collapse. And it's like, hey, I know what our biggest concern is. Let's get around to rounding up the homosexuals. This is bullshit and totally fucked up. And now, more totally fucked up third world attitudes to sex and sexuality. Texas! I love doing that with my Texas viewers. Just go, oh God, it's not all of us, honestly. I know it's not, but it is Governor Rick Perry. What a fuckwit. Perry is one of many Republicans in the US who preach abstinence only as a proper sex education. Yeah, much like, I don't know, Sarah Palin and her unmarried, no, she is married, isn't she? Her teenage daughter, who talks about abstinence, except she got pregnant. No. How many times, how much factual evidence has to be presented to show abstinence only sex education actually leads to more sexual activity among teenagers and more pregnancy. Texas, just for instance, has the highest rate of teen pregnancy in the US. One popular theory is that when you indoctrinate these kids and tell them, don't use contraception because contraception doesn't work, they go, oh, well, we might as well fuck without contraception because it doesn't work. I don't know if you've noticed throughout all of history, one consistent fact, teenagers don't listen when you say don't have sex. The only ones who don't are the ones who weren't going to do it anyway, either through choice or through lack of choice, but let's not go too far down that path. It's just, and the truly appalling thing is Texas not only has the highest rate of teen pregnancy in America, more than 50% above the national average, they have the highest rate of teen re-pregnancy. So it doesn't even get through when a teenager gets pregnant once, they're actually more likely to get pregnant again in Texas than anywhere else in America. Abstinence-only education doesn't work. You need to give kids real information on what they should really do if they're really going to do it. Because, you know, telling them to only pick a partner who puts Jesus first is not really going to influence their sexual choices. Sure, lots of people won't have sex. A lot of people do place whatever their religion may be above interests of sex, but so many more, you know, put their hormones and their body first. They might talk the talk, but I tell you what, they sure as shit don't walk the walk. And a link down below to this article about the Governor Rick Perry, and there's a great video link where he's going on about abstinence works, and he gets laughed at by the audience like, dude, have you seen the teen pregnancy rates? It doesn't work. And he goes, oh, well, maybe there's some problem with the way it's being taught, but I know in my heart abstinence works. Dude, you're a fucking idiot! You fucking think you deserve to be President of the United States, and when absolute cold, hard facts get put in front of you, you ignore them and talk shit! You are totally fucked up! And finally, a cautionary tale brought to you by two chaps who sound a bit like a comedy duo, Frake and King. Mr. Frake and Mr. King, oh, they love their horseplay, and for them, horseplay involves punching each other in the balls. Homoerotic horseplay. Who hasn't been there? So, these guys merrily go around going, I've got a funny joke for you. Boom, dick punch. That was hilarious. Let me do that. Groin stab. Yeah, that's what they, apparently their whole family was there. That's what these guys do. Whatever. Anyway, apparently one day it went a bit far and Mr. King feels like he suffered a very, very nasty injury as a result of his friend Mr. Frake punching him in the balls. And he tried to get covered by his insurance, and his insurer said, I don't think we'll pay that. He took it to court and he won. Yeah, to the tune. Apparently his balls are worth about $200,000 each. Big win for him. But his insurer, State Farm, appealed and won on the appeal. They don't have to pay it. You know, the judges cited all sorts of legal precedents and the difference between this and that, but the summary is, your fuckwit mate punched you in the balls and we're not giving you money for that. You know, interesting fact, State Farm's sponsor, prominent YouTube, Phil DeFranco, Sexy Phil. I wonder if they give him special treatment. Like, if someone punched him square in the balls, would they cover him? That's not suggesting anyone out there go out and punch Phil in the balls, okay? Not on, not cool, no ball punching. Not to him or anyone else. And look, nobody now see, the idea is, I can now see someone going, oh, how about I'll come and punch you in the balls. I don't have insurance, okay? All I'm saying is if someone punches you in the balls, you're not insured.